More on the situation. Let's now bring in outgoing Republican Representative Ron Paul. Congressman Paul, welcome back to the show. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
In the past, Congressman, you have indicated that you would be willing, and perhaps the best case scenario is for America to go over the cliff. Is it playing out exactly as you think it should?
Well, no, I don't think anybody wants anything to go over the cliff. My statement has been that I think we have passed that point of no return where we can actually get our house in order, because I believe that there's too much bipartisanship on the spending. Nobody's talking about cutting any spending. And in the midst of this crisis of a major deficit and a national debt increase coming up, nobody wants to talk about military cuts. Do you think they're not going to give the farmers their due? Because now this milk will be doubled in price if they do that, so the farm bill will get passed. The safety net is always available to rich and poor. Republicans and Democrats all support this. Now there's been a recent hurricane. There will be no hesitation whatsoever to spend that money without offsetting it. So the Republicans and Democrats, they pretend they're fighting up there, but they really aren't. They're arguing over power and spin and who looks good and who looks bad, but they're all trying to preserve this system where they can spend what they want, take care of their friends, and let the Fed print the money when they need it. But the markets are saying, and it'll get a lot worse, I think they're saying there's a limit to this, and we're reaching it, and there is not going to be a political solution here in the next 20 days or 30 days or even 6 months. Whatever they do here between now and the beginning of the year will just be fluff, and it will not solve our problems.
Ron, thank you for joining us. It's Amelia Bordeaux. I have a quick question for you. If no deal is reached by year end, and we do go off that fiscal cliff, what is the point for Democrats and Republicans, meaning who has more leverage now that we've gone over the fiscal cliff in their bargaining power? Who does it benefit? Which party does that benefit the most?
Well, it's the people who have control of the spin, and that's the Democrats. The Republicans, even with all their shortcomings, have actually passed bills that would have solved this problem. But the spin that is accomplished by the Senate and by the president and by the media, it makes it look like Republicans don't care or didn't do anything. So I think the whole country is who will lose. The country loses, but I don't think anybody has any benefit. But I think they'll come up with something. It's sort of like, how many times have they had a solution for the Greece crisis? About 10 or 15 times, and then the market responds favorably, and then they find out, well, they really didn't solve it. There's no admission that they have a crisis. They have no admission that the country's bankrupt. There's no admission that our government is spending way too much and it's way beyond our means, and there's not a single bit of effort to cut anything. Even when they talk about slashing the budget and these cuts, they're only talking about tinkering on the edges of proposed automatic increases. So they're so far removed from admitting the seriousness of this crisis, and if they don't admit it, they can't solve the problem. Right. They're like a bunch of drug addicts that just want another fix, and that's what they're looking for.
Congressman, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congressman Ron Paul of Texas.